Hello and welcome to this video and to a trip to Chessington World of Adventures. So technically we're at Pete's parents' house right now, but we're going today, so it's Father's Day. It's also going to be like 30 plus degrees, which wasn't what we factored in when we booked this in like January. So the plan, basically my dad got a deal and sent it to us because he thought we'd make more use of it, where he got money off one night for a short break at a Merlin park. So we decided, we'll use that and we'll go to Chessington because that'll be good for Eloise, who is 2, for anyone that's new here. She is my daughter. And because, you know, there are some rides that she can go on, but there's also animals, so that'll keep us all occupied for that. Yeah, and then we put that in January for now, thinking June will be nice weather, it won't be too hot, it won't be too cold. We'll be able to do stuff and it fit with all of the other plans that we had. We've got to the weekend. It's, I think, 30 degrees today. And then there's an amber weather warning for heat tomorrow. We think we get up to 31 tomorrow, but feels like hotter. And then it gets hotter over the week down south. We'll be going back up to where we live in Sheffield. So yeah, I don't know how this is going to play out. We've tried to get ourselves a picnic together for today. I don't know how she's going to nap, but I'm intrigued to see how she gets on. This is her first like proper theme park. Actually not true, she went to Tivoli. I'll link that up here. But she was so small in that. This is her like first proper theme park where she's been walking around and stuff like that. She's been on a teacup ride, but in like a fair or whatever. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. And that's this video, so come along, let's see how we get on. Wish us luck with the heat. We made it to Chessington. We have perched under a tree to have a little bit of our picnic. And we're now going to head off. I think we're going to go to the Sea Life Centre just because it's straight in front of us. And it's indoors, so I think we might try that first and then see where the day takes us. This was one scoop. Good job I'm sharing it with this child. This one is very keen on the gorillas, but they're all hiding in their homes now.
You can see them.
Okay, my daddy, you might see them.
Through there, so you can see them through there.
So the last time that me and Pete came, we fed these guys. We stood about here and we fed those penguins. Well, maybe not those exact penguins because it was about like 6 years ago, but we did that. There's a fly. So we made it onto the carousel. I have my mate Gertie.
What are you on?
Eloise is on a capybara. Oh, it's been one hot, sweaty day in Chessington. To be fair, we haven't actually done a huge amount. We looked at some animals and we went on the carousel and the room on the broom and they did the rope course thing. That's it in all of the hours. But hey, we've got another day tomorrow. We've just checked into our room. So I'm currently stood in the bathroom. I figured I'd give you a room tour. This is just a standard bunk bed room in the Safari Hotel in Chessington. So we may as well start in the bathroom. So shower, not really a bath if you're gonna, you know, bathe. So if you have small kids like us, shower it is. Artwork, toilet, you know, towels, all good. Front door is there, and then you've got wardrobes, tea and coffee making station, a wardrobe that is broken, Probably won't open that one. I don't know if there's a safe in that one. Bed. More artwork.
She's pushing.
Cupboard. There is a cooler, so the leftover of our picnic we can put in there. TV. Luggage rack. We requested a cot, reading online that it needed bedding, so we brought a sheet. Turns out it doesn't have a mattress, so I think Eloise might be on this
Yeah, careful, Eloise.
tonight.
She knows that, this one.
But we do have the bunk beds as well. That one came from underneath, so you can have 3 children. 1 through 4 if you have a baby. And then there's 2 chairs and a table, and we have a view of the car park and some old Gruffalo ride vehicles. We have decided that we've just ordered Uber Eats. We're getting Pizza Express because the prices in the hotel, if I move my bag out of the way, so the takeaway menu, it's £17 for a margarita pizza, 20 quid for a cheeseburger. I don't know what those 2 are doing. And I saw that they were doing, 2 for 20 quid on cocktails, so it's not the cheapest. So we've just ordered ourselves a Pizza Express that we'll have in the room. We have a child that hasn't napped, so we'll eat that and then try and get her to bed. We're not very good in this trip because going down to Pete's parents, we left the potty. Had to go back and get that. Then we got to a service station, realised we forgot Jeff's lead, and then we've come here and realised that we haven't brought Eloise's sleeping bag or any books, so we have just been to the gift shop before we left to pick up Kind and John T. Gen 2. I'm assuming these were $7.99 each. RRP, as it says on the back of the book. Yeah, that's or Pete's idiot tax for it, and we'll have to just hope that she is going to be okay in a bed with a duvet and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, wish us luck. We'll see how this one goes. But I'm very warm, I'm very sweaty, and looking forward to my pollo pesto for dinner and a Fanta. So we've had a floor picnic. We had our Pizza Express and we watched some Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaur, which is actually quite fitting because Eloise is big into dinosaurs at the moment. So we've watched The Good Dinosaur and the dinosaur film from 2000 recently. As I said, we were thinking of putting her on the little rollaway bed, which I've just folded back, but actually what we're going to do is put some duvets in here and a pillow. Thankfully, despite the fact that we left her sleeping bag and books behind, we were clever and bought 2 dummies in our pot, so we do have a dummy. If we didn't have a dummy, Pete would have to go all the way back to his parents' house, which was about an hour and a quarter away to get that, because there's no way our child will sleep with that one. I'm finding the aircon quite chilly, so I've turned the fan down. Maybe I'll turn it down again in the hope that that works. And then I don't know what we're going to do about lighting. It's very, very rare that we sleep, the 3 of us, in a room, and obviously are in the room when she goes to bed. With the holidays that we've done before, we have been in one room, but we've had a balcony or something. And they do have a hairdryer as well. I think I've just been called, so I'm going to go. So while we get ourselves ready for the day, the night was very comfortable. The bed was good. Bed's big actually, so turning over and stuff, you don't feel like you're disturbing the other person. Just not always the case in a hotel room. However, I did get up at 5. And it turns out that both my family members snore, so I didn't get back to sleep, but that's fine. We've just been down to breakfast, so we actually were in the other hotel, so we're staying in the Safari Hotel, and we were breakfast in the Azteca Hotel, because that's the only one that we could get into at the time that we wanted. So it's your standard buffet breakfast, I know there are vloggers that would film that for you, but I am not that kind of vlogger. Here we go. But yeah, you know, usual fare of breakfast. Eloise had a decent amount, which did well. But now we just come back to the room. We're going to pack up all of our stuff, get our sun cream on, and then head back into the park.
We saw a zebra running, didn't we?
Did you see a zebra running?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so at the end of our corridor there is a window that you can look at the savannah. We saw a giraffe this morning, didn't we, Eloise? Here is the clip. Giraffe's bottom.
Well, then, don't touch it, just look through it. Don't touch it. You've gone now.
Zebra's over there.
Right, it's gone.
And they've obviously just seen a zebra running. So yeah, as I say, this day's been good. The park's been open for hotel guests for 15 minutes, so hopefully we'll get a little bit of that time to go on some stuff. And we're hoping that today's queues are slightly shorter, but we'll see. But yeah, come along, let's see what we do today at Chessington. If only I could be in a theme park like this all the time. This is ideal for a theme park. Nobody in it.
Earlier than everyone else.
So yeah, we're going to head off to the Gruffalo because it's one of the few rides that's open when she can go on. But also, what do we want to do? That one, just there. And it had a reasonably long queue yesterday for the whole day, so we can go on this, see how she feels about it.
There's no such thing as a Gruffalo.
Roasted fox.
Silly fox, Eloise, silly old fox.
Come and have tea in my treetop house. Come for a feast in my log bungalows.
It's getting quite a lot here.
And soon you'll see, everyone is afraid of me.
The back is so good.
Ooh, we're going to do a theme, Eloise.
We're on tiny truckers. We don't really fit, and I don't know why we need this, but there we go.
Keep running, Eloise. Eloise is driving us around.
Right, I'm in the soft play. The Dragon's Playhouse soft play. So I've just ridden Dragon's Fury and I've managed to get us a parent swap, so that means Pete doesn't have to queue for as long. So I've queued for the ride, and then Pete just needs to hand this in. I think he goes through the fast pass queue. So that works out well. Once we've used it properly, we'll be able to, tell you probably how it works, but yeah, I like Dragon's Fury. It's a lot of fun. It's 10-minute wait for me, so now it's Pete's time to go. Excuse the loud music, but while the other two are up here on Canopy Capers or whatever it's called, I thought I'd give you some of my thoughts. There he is. Huh?
Slide's closed.
There he is. Two, all the rides that seem to be shut are the ones that Eloise can go on. So we've got no jungle truck thing, which I think is where the capybaras are, if they've still got them. Which me and my brother fed, so I'll link that up here if you're interested. But also Elma the Flying Jumbos is also non-existent. And as she doesn't have huge amounts of rides to ride anyway, that's kind of frustrating. We have just been on Sea Dragon, though, which you can see behind me with the thing swirling there. And my third thought is they appear to be downsizing their animals to build more land. So they've just got the Paw Patrol land, which looks pretty cool. And they're in the middle of a Minecraft land. But I know to build the Minecraft land, they've got rid of like the lorikeets and things like that, which me and my brother had fun feeding. They don't have lions in their Trail of the Kings, that is literally just gorillas now. The music's getting louder as I'm trying to talk to you. And just all of the animals seem to be being squeezed out. And the reason why we picked Chessington over, say, like Legoland or something like that is because of that, because she's shorter. And wherever we go, she's not going to be able to ride much until she's like at least 0.9, and she's about 3 centimetres off that. We thought, oh, let's come to Chessington because we've got the animals as well, so it's, you know, best of both worlds. And yes, they do have animals and they have the sea life and things like that, but they seem to be getting rid of them in favour of rides, which seems to be alienating some of their market. Because yes, Chessington does have some bigger rides. I'm literally sat under a roller coaster pretty much. And they've just built their first ride that has an inversion, which hopefully we'll get to ride later today. But primarily, Chessington is your like younger kid theme park, that and Legoland. And as I said, we chose it because we knew we'd be able to see the animals as well, so that would be a bonus for Eloise who can't get on many rides. But if they're going to get rid of the animals, then why would we come here? So yeah, those are my 2 pence. They're my thoughts for the time being. She seems to be having a good time anyway. We went on the Gruffalo, so like that one. She's been in the soft play while we did Dragon's Fury. We've been on the Sea Dragon spinning ride. All sorts of things like that. So there is stuff, it's just limited, and they seem to have shut a lot of the things that she can do, which is frustrating. Right. We've done Mandrill Mayhem because I went in single rider, because obviously I'm a single rider. I ended up on the front row. Didn't have a clue about that ride, so that was interesting. It was a lot of fun though. And now I'm walking through the queue of Vampire, because you can't come to Chessington and not ride Vampire. So going to do that. This parent swap thing has worked out really well, so I've been the one to go and queue for a few reasons. One, Eloise is a big daddy's girl, so she won't want to be left with me for that long anyway. Two, I'll put my Kindle so I can read and queue. So there you have it. That was our trip to Chessington. You see, I was slightly better at filming the second day. The first day we got there at lunchtime, which is fine, that's not an issue at all. But then we were like, oh, we need to get our child to nap, so we ended up just sort of wandering around the Waiama Reserve looking at the animals, trying to get her to sleep, but she wouldn't do it at all, which is why we probably got less done on that day. I mean, the queues were big anyway, so we wouldn't have got a lot done at that point. I mean, the Tiny Truckers ride, the queue was up to like 45 minutes for that, so the animals were going to be the things we looked at Sunday, and I sort of factored that in as part of that day anyway. Day 2 she did nap though, which was surprising. I'd actually gone off, so we had lunch in the like stage area and we watched the Gruffalo on the big screen, and then I went off to go and ride Mandrill Mayhem. So I went in the single rider line and did our parent swap stuff, which I'll come on to in a minute. And when I come off that, Pete told me that she'd fallen asleep. They'd walked over to the Sea Life Centre to go and have a look at that, and then she'd gone, I want the canopy of my pram up. Did that, and she was asleep, and she had a good solid hour. So that fills me with some hope for trips that we've got coming up. I feel like the first day, A, we may have forced it a bit too much and we should have just left it to her, but B, I also think she had a sort of FOMO, fear of missing out, whereas the second day she's seen where we are and what we're doing. We'd gone past lots of things lots of times, so she sort of felt more able to sleep, that she wasn't going to miss out on anything. I don't know, she obviously didn't say any of that to me, but that's my theory on it. The hotel, very comfortable stay, bed was great, room was nice, breakfast was good, so would recommend the hotel. Just to reiterate, if you are getting a travel cot, they don't come with a mattress. It worked out alright for us because we just bulked it out with the duvets, but if you had a very, and we have a nearly 2.5-year-old, if you had a very little baby, you wouldn't have been able to do that. So yeah, just bear that in mind, that there are no mattresses. So when they say no bedding provided, they don't just mean a sheet, they mean a whole entire mattress. So yeah, that was a shock when we went in there and there just wasn't that. But yeah, as I say, on the whole, would recommend the hotel. Certainly if you can get a good deal. I know they were doing the whole have a night, get a Merlin pass kind of deal, which if she was a little bit taller, that would have been good, because then we could have gone to, say, Haunton Towers, which is not too far from us, but we could have gone to some of the other stuff. We would have factored our year around the fact that we had a Merlin pass. But yeah, so different deals like that are worth looking out for if you're doing that. Particularly as you then get the early entry, and we just walked straight onto the Gruffalo, which helped us because again that had a good half-hour queue both days, and none of the things, I think the longest wait we had with Eloise was like 10 minutes, and she was fine for that. I don't know if we were going to do any longer, whether that would have played a part. I kind of would have liked a longer line just to see how she got on, just because obviously we're going to Disneyland Paris and there probably will be longer lines there, and we haven't had to work out how to entertain her for those things, but that's fine. The parent swap, brilliant, recommend it highly. I only got one because someone in front of me in the queue for Dragon's Fury asked about it, and I was like, we should do that. I think I'd read online previously that you could go to like guest services or whatever they call it in there to pick up the card, but I'd forgotten and went to queue up for a roller coaster because it was like a 15-minute wait, and then by the time that Pete was going to it, it was like 25 minutes, half an hour, so having the parent swap really worked for that. But basically you get given a card, they write the name of the ride that you're parent swapping, and then you hand that over to the opposite parent, so I gave it to Pete. He then goes in the like fast pass entrance, probably don't call it fast pass, but you know, that entrance, and then they tick it off to say that the other parent has ridden. So it did work out really well for us. As I said, we did Dragon's Fury pretty early in the day, so it was a short queue for me. For Mandrill Mayhem, I went in the single rider, so again it was pretty quick. And then Pete basically walked on, pretty much. We also did Vampire, which was probably the longest queue that I did, and again that wasn't long at all. I don't know if you actually heard me when I was talking about that, but the reason I go in queue is because Eloise is very much a daddy's girl. I'm sure I could have entertained her, but it would have been slightly more difficult. Although, I mean, I suppose I did have to, but for a short period of time because Pete got in a bit quicker than me. But also, I have a Kindle and I quite like just standing in the queue and reading my book. So that's why I did the queuing and he did the fast pass bit. And I imagine that's the route we'll take when we go to Disney as well, because obviously bigger rides there that we're going to want to do. And I know they have a parent swap system, but I need to do a bit more research into how theirs works. Because I'm not sure it's the same kind of card thing. I will say that with the card, because we were passing it between us, it did get a bit tatty. so I imagine it probably would fall off. And if you're going on like the water ride or whatever, that probably would have caused it to disintegrate. But yeah, Parent Swap, very much worth it. Thoughts on Chessington overall? I think I said this in the video, but I'm a bit disappointed that they seem to be phasing out the animals. I get it, the rides probably are a bigger draw and that kind of thing, but having a child that is under 90 centimetres, and yes, there is quite a bit that she can do, but the animals are the big part of the reason why we went there, because we knew she wouldn't be tall enough to go on a lot of it. I mean, there are rides that you go, I wonder why she can't go on that, like the safari trucks, that's a metre, so Eloise can't go on that, and I'm like, I wonder why, that seems weird. It's a bit rocky, but they have similar things in Disney World and everyone can ride that one, so but that's besides the point. But yeah, so being under 90 centimetres, she is limited in what she can do, but the animals then make it worth the ticket price. Not that she had to pay for the ticket, so maybe that's why they don't really care more to cater for that age group. So yeah, just those kind of thoughts. It seems a bit, I guess the animals probably take more finance, and you know, they have to hire people to look after them and things like that. But it's a shame because that's part of the fun. The other thing was obviously a couple of the rides that Eloise can do weren't open. I did try and look on the website before we went to see what was going to be, what was down, what was not, and I didn't notice any of it. The Jumbo, basically the Dumbo ride but not Dumbo, that just never appeared on the app whatsoever, so that just never ran. And then the Jungle Rangers truck thing was always on the app, and the wait times for it, but just was always saying closed, which is disappointing because that's how you see the capybaras. We managed to like sneak and go, oh, there's the capybaras, I fed you, hi, but to actually properly see them you need to go on that ride, and obviously it wasn't open, so we couldn't do it. Doing that trip though has made me want to try and factor that into our years, to do like little theme park trips. Obviously there's quite a few that we can think about and then just build up as we go. That's a hope. I told Pete I'd love to do a little theme park trip every year, because me and him, we love theme parks, we like going on rides and things like that, and Eloise seems to enjoy it, although when she's on them she seems a bit like cautious. Like we went in the room on the broom and she wanted to be held by Pete the whole time. On the Gruffalo she held his hand the whole time, but then afterwards she talks about it loads and she really does take it in, and she tells how much fun she had. When we went down the hill on the Gruffalo, she put her arms up, and that kind of thing, so she's definitely enjoying them. It's just cautiousness, I suppose. And I suppose I'm the same. I get nervous going on to like new roller coasters that I don't know what to expect, so or rides that I've never been on. I'm like, what are we doing here, kind of thing. So I get it, but she does seem to enjoy them. And funnily enough, we were waiting for Pete to come off, I can't remember which one, and she kept pointing at the roller coaster track above us going, want to go on that one, want to go on that one. I'm like, you're too small, we'll have to come back for that when you're big enough. So yeah, enjoyed our trip. If you have any questions, anything that I haven't covered, put them in the box below and I'll do my best to come back to you on that. And you've enjoyed this one, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one, which, if all goes to plan, should be another day out. So yeah, thank you for watching. Bye!